Hello there guys, and welcome to my week 2 team builder against Roaring and his Murfreesboro Milotics. Now, I know that you guys are probably unaware of who Roaring is because he's an old school friend of mine. He's been in the NBA for as long as I can remember. I believe he's an OG Season 1 vet, which makes me sound really young compared to him because he started in the first ever season of the NBA, back before it was actually called the NBA, whereas I am a youngin'. I started Season 5. He's probably got 2 or 3 seasons of experience on me. It doesn't help that he probably has arguably one of the scariest teams I ever had to face in League format. I just want to say that I probably didn't have as much time as I intended to have on this build for Roaring because I was helping out Leo, aka 6 Foot Hacks, with his P4G Finals builder, in which I probably spent more of my week thinking about that matchup in itself. So I highly recommend if you want to see Bird building in action and other things like that. Also check out Leo, he's a very strong player. He probably doesn't need my subs, but you know, let's just pretend he does in my own selfish way. Definitely check that out. When it came to Roaring's team, it is scary as anything. It's absolutely ballistic. The Volt Turn core of Koko and Mega Beedrill is something that probably I only really fear. And then I was having nightmares, man. Like, it got to the stage where it's probably the first time in a very long time that I've just gone, stuff this. If he brings a set and I get 6-0'd by it, I legitimately can't be mad. Which is the route that I decided to go upon. I sort of had two main team concepts for this game. The first was actually Hail Offense because his Ice Resist doesn't exist outside of Vaporeon. I saw in his week 1 battle against Cootie, which was streamed, that he did like Vaporeon a lot. When it came to this week's build, however, I knew that the Koko Lucha was definitely coming, and how did I really stomp this? Now, the first one I put on the team was Mega Morwow. I just want to say that in the game itself, it was the wrong ability. It was hypercut in the game because when I copied and pasted it, in Mega form instead of base form. It should have been Intimidate, but unfortunately for me, it was Hypercutter. So the desired effect of this set was at +2. Hawlucha can't really do anything to this Mega Morwow. It is Thunder Punch over Pain Split, for example, just because the whole design of this was to beat the Hawlucha. If it didn't beat any other Pokemon, I was fine. It has SD because it does have a potential to be a win con. Sucker Punch is specifically for the Typhlosion. Typhlosion is a massive threat. And then also, Play Rough is just probably the best neutral move. Now, I know that Play Rough and Thunder Punch probably seems redundant against Roaring's team, because why have both, Birb? Well, the main reason for it was if he didn't bring Electric Terrain, but like Citrus Berry, Hawlucha, I could still Thunder Punch it. And then when it comes to the Vaporeon, if he doesn't bring the Electric Terrain is down, I can Play Rough it. Even though Thunder Punch is going to do so much damage. The 16 attack investment is specifically just because I like saying my Mega Morwow has a 500 in its attack stat, which is absolutely insane. Earlier I did mention that I feared one core in particular, being the Koko Lucha, and that's where the Thunderous Therian comes in. Now this is an agility set, very bulky. The bulk is so that it lives a +1 acrobatics from Hawlucha after rocks. It does not live a Stone Edge unfortunately, but then again, we can always praise for dodges. Agility means that at +2, depending upon his Hawlucha set, may have the potential to outspeed. Dark Pulse is probably the best move to hit the Claydol, the Dusknoir, and I also then have Thunderbolt just because it's best like neutral hit. And then Z Focus Blast is specifically for the Milk Tank because my team doesn't like rocks, and it doesn't also like hazards just in general. It never really does. No team really appreciates hazards. So if I could drop the Milk Tank then, which was the biggest threat to this under a set, it would open up the doorway for, you know, other Pokemon on your roster to essentially sweep. The 116 special attack is the minimum amount of attack I needed to OHKO Hawlucha, and that was really what it did. Now the third set this week I can't take any real credit for besides doing the EVs, but the concept itself was done by 6 Foot Hacks. Leo recommended that the Rocky Helmet Suction Cups would allow me to 1v1 any Crocodile set and allow me to keep up defensive momentum against Mega B, sort of allowing that Mega B switch-ins to become sort of 3, more so than the 5 that it normally gets. In particular, I wanted to run Rock Slide just in case that I was like, okay, this could be SD Mega B, and if he's going to SD here, I'm going to drop it with Rock Slide, because once that those sort of 3 main cogs went down, the rest of my team, ooh, I had some, it could deal with a lot of the other Pokemon it was going to bring. It's max because Cradily still takes 70% from Mega B's U-turns. Mega B, please stop. I love you to death. The Crocodile was the other main thing that I sort of worried. I have sort of 2 pseudo checks, but Cradily was definitely one of them. It also helps out against things like Barbarical, for example, with the Giga Drain. So I didn't want to allow Barbarical at any real stage just to set up for free, because Barbarical is definitely a monster when it comes to my team. Now, the next one I had in my team was the Starmie. Now, Starmie is Psyshock, Scald, Rapid Spin, Recover. The Psyshock is specifically for the Roserade. Nothing on my team really wants to take Spikes damage, so if he does bring the Roserade, I am 100% going to be Rapid Spin, and unless he's Scarf, which I think is a very bad set in this matchup, because I do have the potential to bring Blissey, it's not really going to work. Now, the Recover is just there because I think for the longevity of Starmie, in case I Toxic something with my Blissey, which is my next Pokemon, I can then recover up, have a little bit more longevity in that regard. Scald was also just there for Crocodile. It is Colbur Berry to take a Scarf Crocodile knockoff. It is modest 200 because that was the best offensive amount of output I could get. I don't see a real point in trying to speed creep a Latias with my Starmie when I don't have a move to hit it. Which is definitely a way that I think I want to build my teams, is like, well, what's the relevant speed tier that I need? That's definitely Typhlosion. As I said earlier, Typhlosion was a big threat. You can sort of see why now. I was really fearing the Latias because with Mega Mawile takes 40% in chip damage. Mega Mawile then loses to Latias, which is definitely going to be problematic. The other thing about this Starmie is it is natural cure over analytic because I didn't want Vaporeon to Toxic it and then switch out. I don't have any Heal Bell support on this team. I don't really have a Vaporeon dedicated answer, but my next Pokemon was Blissey. I knew this week would be forced to bring physical Koko to take on my Blissey because Blissey doesn't really lose to any sort of Koko set. Now this one in particular, the only set that it would lose to is like Sub, Carmine, T-Bolt, which then means that my last one can handle it really nicely. But at the same time, I didn't really see a way in which that he was going to break this Blissey set. The Blissey 240, 252 means I can take 2 U-turns from the Mega Bee, and I just wanted to be able to chunk it. The main idea as well of this Blissey is it should be able to 1v1 any Vaporeon that if it gets to a last mod Vaporeon v Blissey, with the Wish Protect combo and the Seismic Toss and Toxic, I can outstall the Vaporeon, provided unless it's like sub Vaporeon, which I think is a very interesting set. I don't think it's very viable set in this matchup when I have a Thundy T, but you never know with Roaring. That veteran's experience could definitely pay off. The last one on my team was the Scarf Dog Trio. And the reason for this was that Scarf Doggy this week is an absolute monster. Now, thank you to Cos for running the numbers on this when it comes to the speed stat. It's 152 Jolly specifically for +2 Jolly Barbarical. Barbarical is a monster, man. I do not want to deal with that thing. I did not want to become part of the Cleed Club and the Barbarical Victims Club. Now, the EQ and Rock Slide was just my best coverage. Rock Slide is a little bit more to Mega B. It also means that I can hit the Mega B and hit the Holutra trying to pivot in, which was why the whole reason it was there. Memento was another one. It provides a very nice setup opportunity for my Agility Thundy T to sweep. Toxic was specifically there for Laddie. As I mentioned earlier, if he had any fast sub ones that I was specifically designed my Blissey to beat, it would be up to my Doggy. And now, Dog Trio is a very interesting Pokemon in itself. Just the ability of an Arena Trap. I wanted the max attack just to hit anything hard. The EVs this week look very, very standard with all my mons. And I think that that's because the main reason I want to cover that is because sometimes you don't need to be super fancy with EV spreads. You just need to make the EV spreads work. Definitely because I was low on time that a lot of them aren't that fancy, but I definitely want to ensure you guys that I ran every single one of these calcs to make sure that these were the most efficient EV spreads that I could have. The other thing to note is I always want to thank Bill Stanish for doing my logo. My logo always looks hella clean. If you guys ever need a logo, hit up Bill. Secondly, I want to thank High Velocity Boy. He made the sidebar in the second video and did a lot of the NBA graphic rebrand, and to be honest, they look amazing, man. Thank you again so much. I want to thank Cos and Leo for helping me prep this week. Definitely check out Cos. He will be in the description. Probably put him on the end card this week. Definitely check it out. He's uploading again. He's probably one of the few YouTubers that I actually watch their full narrations of, just because it's post-com, it's under 20 minutes. Leo as well, he's helping me out with how to edit and stuff as well. He's giving me a bit of feedback on my videos, so this team build is actually unscripted. Also as well to my boys, as always, Aaron and Danicky for always providing me feedback in how to improve each week. Definitely just trying to improve. Now, if you guys have any feedback on the team itself, what you guys would like to see more of, definitely please leave in the description. I'm just trying to learn as always, so if any feedback is always appreciated. And definitely shout out to the people that commented last week. Definitely enjoy the comments. It's good to see that people like the layout itself, because I did the layout for this video. The NBA battles or my NBA videos, the playlist will be in the description below. Until next time guys, peace.